if there is truly a God, why is this world so filled with so much pain, hatred, killing, violence, disaster? The point here is this. What are the proofs that you have to show that God truly exists? What are the proofs? I mean, aside the Bible, because I'm an atheist, I don't believe in the Bible. I think the Bible is just folklore. I mean, some storybook written by some fallible guys. Do you have any proof? Do you have any evidence outside the Bible to show me that God exists? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel Odiwe and this is the Great Light TV. If this is your first time being on this channel, I want to welcome you especially. I want to just go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit the like button already because I'm sure you would like this video. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is that I got a challenge from someone some time ago on Instagram to prove the existence of God. Now, the reason why I didn't actually give him my answer was because he came attacking me instead of asking for an honest and sincere conversation with an open mind. All I wanted was for him to have an open mind so we can talk about the existence of God. And I wouldn't mind not even showing him anything from the Bible because there are evidences, there are proofs to show that God exists even without looking at the Bible. Okay, and that is not to say that the Bible is flawed or that the Bible doesn't give so much evidence about the existence of God. Of course it does. It is not flawed, it is flawless, it is infallible. But hey, I mean, these guys don't believe in the Bible. So how do you prove to an atheist that God exists without showing him the Bible? And if you're an atheist seeing this, I don't want you to feel sidelined. I want to prove to you in just two ways that God exists. Now, I'm not going to be mentioning so many points, but just two solid ways that God exists. And if you're an agnostic, I'm also glad you're seeing this video because I'm sure it's going to help you to be sure and to come to the conclusion that God exists. That's the essence of this video. All right. So first of all, the first point that proves that God exists, of course, is in the creation. Now, this is it, because I know you don't believe in this creation created by a so-called God, because you feel if there is such a God that has created this universe, it means it must be a cruel God, it must be a wicked God, I mean a very, very bad one, okay, to create such a disturbing word, such a bad and cruel word. I understand that, okay, but you agree with me that everything you see in this world has a beginning. Yes, we all agree that the scientists, everyone in the religion, we all agree that everything in this world had a beginning. And the only thing that we don't agree on or we have challenge right now is what caused the beginning. Okay, so we all agree there was a Big Bang. Okay, remember the Big Bang theory, right? We all agree on that. But what caused that Big Bang theory? I also agree on the Big Bang theory, okay? But there was a cause, okay? There was a cause. Now, we don't know that cause. And so, therefore, many of us don't want to fall into the assumption of having a filling in the gap. You know, you want to fill in the gap, okay? So you want to find out what truly caused that Big Bang, okay? So whatever caused it, we must know or must realize that it must be beyond time, space, and matter. Whatever caused that Big Bang. Because if the Big Bang can result into something that has to do with time, that can result into something that has to do with space and matter, it must mean that whatever caused it must be beyond it. Yes, it must be beyond it. It cannot be the same thing. Okay, it must be beyond it. And that's very, very important for you to know. Okay, is for instance, for me to create a house, I cannot be inside the house. I cannot be within the house. I cannot be in the house. I've got to be outside the house. Okay? You understand? So myself, and I must be greater than the house. So I am different from the house. I am not the house. Okay, and that's the same thing with creation. The cause must be separated from the effects. Okay, and the cause must be greater than the effects. That is something that we must agree on. That is something. If you definitely agree that the beginning, you must agree that there was such a phenomenon of force that was greater than the effect. And if we also agree that, it must mean that the cause, like I said earlier, must be beyond time. That means it must be timeless. The cause must be beyond space, must be spaceless, and the cause must be immaterial. Okay, it cannot be matter. Okay, for you to create matter, it cannot be matter. It must be immaterial, and it must also be personal. Personal in the sense that it had a choice to decide to create something. Only a personality can have such choice to create something. So it didn't just come by luck. It didn't just happen all by chance. It was a personal decision to allow that thing come to being. All right, it must be personal, and it must also be intelligent enough to have a mind, a consciousness to decide to do something. It must be intelligent, and of course, like I said, it must be powerful. Okay, so these are the things you actually want to consider. And if you look at all those things that all those characteristics or attributes I've just described, it means that person must be a God. It must be a God. Okay. Now, the second and the most important point here is, you don't just know someone exists by looking at his house. So that's one of the reasons why, although you can flaw this first creation argument I just gave to you, now you can flaw it, but this second one you cannot flaw it, and that is the moral law. Okay, and why do I actually say this? Because, like I said, you don't really have to find out about a person by looking at his house. You don't just look at what he has done or what he has built. You look at what he is saying, the communication he's passing across. Those are the things you want to look at: his words, his messages, his sayings. Okay, this is how you know that, oh, such a person truly exists. And now, one of the reasons why you felt like killings and all the bad things that happen in the world, are cruel and all that, why you felt that killing is bad, is wrong, why you felt that the babies that are dying and all that, these are wrong, and all this stuff that are bad, is because you have a consciousness of right and wrong. You have a consciousness of good and evil. You know that there is something called bad, there is something called good. You know there is something called right, there's something called wrong. Now the question is, who told you? How did you get to know? Because if truly there isn't any moral law, how did you know? On what basis? How did you get to know? What basis? How did you know what was right and what is wrong? How did you ever come to that? Because truly, if there was no moral law, you shouldn't have known. You shouldn't have known what is right and what is wrong. So it means for you to know what is right and what is wrong, it means that there's a standard law you are looking at. You're measuring these actions with a standard law. And yes, and if there is such a standard law, it means that there is such a one that displays that standard law. That standard law is called the moral law. The moral law is a law that governs our world, that governs the universe. The reason why we know what is wrong and what is right, the reason why we can look at the killings in the Bible and condemn it and say this is wrong, okay, because there is such a thing as the moral law. And if there is a law, it means there have to be a lawgiver. You definitely agree with that. There has to be a lawgiver. Who is this person, or who is this one who is setting the law? Okay, and that's definitely God. That's definitely God. Even quantum physics also testifies to the proof of God. In quantum physics, they said that consciousness precedes matter. Okay, so things don't just happen by itself. There has to be a consciousness that precedes matter. And only only personal beings can have consciousness. So God actually exists. You don't have to believe this. There's just the truth. He exists. He absolutely exists. And the truth is, you've just got to believe something. You've got to either believe that he exists or you've got to believe that he doesn't exist. One of the things one of the guys said to me was, on my dying bed, I would realize that all I believed was just a farce and all that. But well, I don't think that would be possible. It is even better for me to believe that there is such a God in heaven. It's better for me to believe that there's such a God in heaven, and who would smile on me, and than not to believe on him at all and then go to hell for it. So what do you think, guys? Well, in the next video, I'm going to be explaining to you why I think this God is the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, and not just maybe some other religion, of the world. This is so important. I'll also be talking about the Trinity. You don't want to miss the next video. So why not just go ahead right now, subscribe to this channel, give us a like if you were blessed, if you got some value, and I want you to share this video to someone else. Let them get to see this video. Let them get to know that God really exists. And if you have any question, please, I want you to go ahead in the comment section. Please ask me those questions. I'd love to answer your questions. If you have some doubts, if you want to argue, fine, I'd like to engage you, but I'd like you to do it intelligently, okay? Thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day. God bless you.